Your organs run on separate clocks that might disagree. This isn't just about being tired, it's a deep systemic miscommunication. Imagine your body as an intricate orchestra where every instrument is tuned slightly differently. When those internal rhythms drift, when the timing in your liver doesn't align with the pacemaker signal from your brain, it creates what we call temporal dissonance. That feeling of low-grade fatigue or existential misalignment. It's physical clockwork grinding against itself. The science now reveals a complex network driving this entire system. Peripheral clock gene network synchronization driving. Understanding how these cellular timings communicate is key to finding deep internal alignment, turning random biology into cohesive design. You know that subtle, nagging sense that your internal timing just isn't quite right? That pervasive temporal dissonance, it's not just stress, it has a biological root. Think of your body as an orchestra, but instead of one conductor, you have hundreds of local musicians ticking along in rhythm across every tissue. The real science reveals these peripheral clocks must all synchronize to play the same song. When those localized rhythms lock into phase coherence, what researchers call clock gene network synchronization, that's when we achieve deep metabolic stability and systemic robustness. It is biological harmony itself, linking your deepest cellular processes back to a foundational timing mechanism. Forget low-grade fatigue. The real signal of systemic misalignment is something far deeper. It's temporal dissonance. Imagine an orchestra where every instrument plays a slightly different beat, even if they sound beautiful individually. That's what happens when our internal clocks drift out of sync across organs and tissues. Our cells aren't working in isolation. They are constantly communicating via these subtle rhythms. When that conversation falters, the entire biological system loses its structural integrity, its resilience. This collective timing is called allostatic coherence. It's not just about being tired anymore. It suggests a fundamental breakdown of self-organization at the deepest level. And if your body's deep presence depends on this coordination, what happens when external noise makes synchronization impossible? Forget isolated clock mechanisms in one cell. Imagine your entire body is a massive orchestra where every instrument needs perfect timing to create harmony or resonance. That's what peripheral network synchronization means. It's not just good health, it's systemic coherence on a molecular level. When those clocks drift, that temporal dissonance you feel isn't just fatigue, it's the physical noise of an unaligned system. We are talking about deep presence realized through flawless metabolic timing itself. But some chronobiologists argue this holistic alignment is mostly philosophical fluff, lacking robust phase-locking evidence in complex tissues like adipose tissue. If that holds true, where does all the functional stability come from? This deep feeling of temporal dissonance you might be experiencing? It isn't just stress, it's systemic drift. Imagine an orchestra where every instrument is slightly out of tune and hitting a different beat. That slippage between your body's hundreds of internal clocks, liver, adipose tissue, brain rhythms, that noise degrades resilience itself. Optimal biological timing demands allostatic coherence across tissues. We are talking about finding the perfect resonant frequency for existence. But achieving that deep presence flow state requires more than just keeping time. It relies on a precise chain reaction where specific metabolic signals fire at exactly the right moment. But what happens in the mitochondria to stabilize that collective wave is genuinely mind-bending. We all feel this subtle misalignment, like tuning into static even when we sleep properly. We think of clock genes as just metabolic regulators, a way to make sure your liver processes sugar at the right time. But what if that thinking is missing the entire point? What if synchronization isn't about efficiency? It's a fundamental state of coherence for existence itself. Imagine a vast, complex orchestra where every instrument has its own internal beat. If just one part starts drifting out of phase with everything else, the drum goes early, the violin lags late. Does music simply sound bad? Or does something more fragile shatter? The evidence suggests that our collective biological timing isn't merely supporting life. It is actively maintaining a unified informational field across every single cell in your body. And if we lose that delicate lockstep rhythm, what exactly are we losing? The truth we've uncovered shifts perspective entirely. That persistent feeling of being out of sync, the dissonance you feel even when everything looks normal, isn't a lifestyle failure. It is a signal of biological drift. Imagine an orchestra where every instrument plays its score perfectly, yet they aren't listening to the same conductor or metronome. Systemic coherence means achieving that deep presence internally. Your takeaway isn't about forcing habits, but noticing when your internal timing, your gut clock, your sleep cycle, your metabolic ebb and flow starts diverging from itself. Seek not perfection, but robust alignment. This is how true resilience emerges from the body's own hidden orchestration of time. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com. We spend so much time trying to fix our lives when the true problem is often a quiet discordance inside us, a feeling of being out of phase with your own deep timing. Think of yourself not as an isolated clock, but as one instrument in a vast orchestra. If even one string drifts its frequency, the entire piece sounds flat. The ultimate goal isn't intervention. It's finding that inner resonance so all your systems are humming together correctly. This biological alignment is what gives us genuine clarity and presence. Start by noticing where you feel that misalignment today. A moment of deep stillness, a precise shift in routine. Trust the rhythm already present within. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com.